I've been kicked out of my near every bar around. I've been locked up for driving 120 through town. I've been shot and cut with a knife, messing around with another man's wife. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old boys. Threw my boss out the window and got fired for my last job. Hot wired a city truck and turned it over in the mayor's yard. Paid my brother-in-law half to death. Lost $20 on his football bet. But other than that, we ain't nothing, just good old.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Wade and Carter Show. Ash, Brent, Commander in the house this morning on a Monday. Good Monday morning to you all. We're glad you're all here. Ricky King, Justin Glass, Scott Tomko on the podium this morning. Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at AT Deerland Hayfeed and Ranch Services.
71 degrees in Victoria, Texas, under mostly clear skies, heading to a high today of 90. Commander, how are we looking on that upload speed over there? It's still low. Are we going to be popping again today?
Probably.
So who do we,
Kendra. Let's get Kendra on it.
Let's get Kendra on that. We need to give somebody at Sparklight to figure out what's going
on here.
Got a program to run.
Yeah. Mark Zapata, Torrin Bales, Bobby Leister. Good morning, John Paul Hull, Terry Murray, Junior Samples, Tony Howard.
Gutfield was awesome last night.
Linda Christ, Lisa Poole, Marvin Mickish. Good morning, everybody. Glad you're all here on a Monday. Tammy Keeling checking in. Tammy Williams. Heather Stewart. Where do we want to start?
Let's just get it out in the open. I'm wearing winter's gear today. Winter, chicken dinner. Texas Longhorns suck. I mean, there's no real way to get around it. You can't get your feelings hurt if you're objective.
No.
You can't. I don't Aggie my fanhood. I don't tell you, oh, well, we rushed them in the third quarter on second down. The Longhorns are really, really terrible. And they're really, really terrible.
I'm not sure I can put it all on Arch.
No, I can't. No. You will appreciate this logic. The Longhorns are one of the worst disciplined teams in college football. They're 131st out of 136 in penalties. 8.8 penalties a game.
The last time they were this undisciplined in penalties was Mac Brown era.
Yes, and it is just unacceptable. Now, undisciplined offensive line play is a direct reflection of coaching. Direct reflection of coaching. Well, Brent, you can't say that. These are college athletes. No. At some point, a coach has to say, turn your head. If the ball doesn't move, you don't move. We don't have procedure. We don't have holding. You just simply do not do those things. Don't do it.
Here's some things that I've noticed with Arch Manning. He's second-guessing himself. That touchdown pass in the first half, he should have thrown it earlier. He double-clutched it, finally threw it. It was almost behind the receiver.
Yeah.
Nice catch to catch it as you run into the sidelines, reach behind you. But here's the other thing I think with Arch. He was picked off because he underthrew passes. Here's why he underthrew passes. Because through the first few weeks of the season, he's been overthrowing everybody because he doesn't have any receivers that have game-breaking speed, and they can't catch up to his balls. So now he's trying to make sure he doesn't overthrow his receivers, and now he's underthrowing them because if there's one area that they did not do well in recruiting, apparently disciplined offensive and defensive line is another, they do not have any really fast, game-breaking speed receivers who can stretch the field and utilize Arch's arm. And that's why, in my opinion, he's underthrowing because he's been overthrowing.
JP Hull, one of my favorite Aggies, says, listening to your Friday predictions on the drive home was fun. And I'm the first to admit I was wrong. By the way, before we get into the Aggies, let's stay with the Longhorns for a minute. Arch looked pretty decent when he was forced out of the pocket and had to make like reactive type plays. He's got some really innate, really high end athletic ability.
And he's faster than his uncles.
A lot. But at the same time, the Longhorns just aren't very good, and that's okay. I mean, it's okay. They're not very good. Now, shift gears over to the Aggies, who did benefit from Mississippi State's quarterback being out. I did not think they would score 31 points, and they did. And they are really elite defensively. They're a good football program. Really good. Mike Elko making great strides with discipline. They are structured well. Their Achilles heel is going to be Marcel Reed is not a very good quarterback. Good athlete, but not a very good quarterback. And that is going to come into play at some point during the season when it's money time. The idea that the Aggies are undefeated at number 5 in the country, I'm sorry, is just getting you ready for heartbreak. It simply is. They're not that good.
Texas dropped out of the top 20.
Yeah, and
I didn't see that.
You can't have 2 losses and one of them's to an unranked Florida and think you're in the top 25. I do think we could probably beat USF, who's like 24th. I do think we could beat USF. Yeah, I do.
I mean, their only win coming in was against Long Island.
Right. I just don't, I don't get that.
No.
But
A&M up to 5, Ole Miss 5-0, had the week off. They are number 4. Or did they have the week off?
Somebody asked me this
They
week.
play my Cougs this weekend in Oxford. It'll be a clown stomping.
Let's go back. Let me read that. I don't know who that's from. I want to read it. No, right there. Matt Williams says in a dissertation, Texas doesn't get the "we're real young" excuse, nor did I employ it. There are no rebuilds if you're a genuine blue blood powerhouse. Stop. It's not rebuilding. You must be able to reload. Ask Georgia, Ohio State, Alabama, how that works for them most of the time. I can readily admit that we're pretenders. We are woefully underprepared. And honestly, Sark's evaluation of talent has been way off in the absolute biggest and worst way.
Trying to get to the rest of it.
At the most important position on the field, a huge swing and miss. I do think now we can say with understanding, for those of us that wanted to second guess Sark last year, why is Quinn Ewers still on the field? Why don't you give us Arch?
This is why.
I think we know. I did like the Caldwell kid came in. I don't know anything about this guy, Commander Cody. Caldwell, backup quarterback at UT, came in and threw a couple of darts, or at least one really good pass for a guy coming dead cold off through a little 20-yard out that was money. He looked pretty good in some mop-up duty a couple of weeks ago, but against like UTSA or somebody, I don't remember. But we what
would you like to know about him?
Well, I'd like to know who he is and where he's from.
His name is Matthew. He's from Auburn, Alabama.
There you go.
What else would you?
So he was in the portal and we grabbed him, or we recruited him straight out of there?
He's only a sophomore, freshman, sophomore.
He transferred from Troy during the summer of 2025.
Troy.
There you go.
The men of Troy.
Yeah. That's in Alabama.
Wow.
So under recruited out of Auburn. Auburn missed him in their own backyard. There's Jeff Finley checking in. John Anderson.
Jeff. Great group. I do think the Aggies are probably playoff bound this year. I do. I think they're playing good football.
That they are.
They just have to avoid, and you have to be, like I said, I'm self-aware enough, and I've been a Texas fan long enough to say this ain't our year. And by the way, if Arch doesn't do something, next year won't be our year either. Just saying. Now, he looks good in Warby Parker. Maybe he should wear the glasses during the game.
I was going to say, for the ads that we saw all game long, that might be why
between him and his uncles and his dad, they dominate television.
Absolutely.
But I just don't Peyton has become just a harlot. He will put anything on. I'm motivating Manning too. I mean, he'll do anything for a buck.
Yeah.
Good morning, Mom.
Almost at that point, but he's Peyton Manning. You almost don't get sick of him.
You can't.
Out like that.
He plays so well against type, right? It's
Which is
like
funny
Leslie
because that
Nielsen
apparently
being
is
a
his type.
comedian. He's a hilarious individual.
So
But I think the Aggies have to guard against believing their publicity. Don't
absolutely.
start believing, oh yeah, we're there now, because the Aggies are a team that, just as Marcel Reed had to ball out to beat what we now know is not a very good Notre Dame program. They're not. And the Aggies had to give them everything they had to beat them. I don't look at the Aggies as going deep into the playoffs, which is better than not going to the playoffs. So that's fine. We're in no danger of Jimbo Fisher's plaque getting used.
USF now ranked, by the way.
Yeah, they're ranked 24.
24.
Sure. They're 4.
How does Notre Dame stay in the top?
They're
20
Notre
at
Dame.
3 and 2?
It's their Notre Dame, and it's an interest driving poll. It's not an indicator of much.
NFL, while we're on it, doing the First State Bank of Louise sports update. Cowboys, don't get excited, Cowboys fans. You beat the Jets, who are 0-5.
No, I agree, but the Jets do show Aaron Glenn, former Aggie and former Jet, showing some great.
He will be a good
strides
coach
there. He's a
somewhere
good coach.
else.
Yeah, he will
Because
be.
the Jets won't have the patience to stick with him.
They should. He's a good coach,
Yeah,
and he's a smart guy.
I agree.
And what I liked about him was he's standing over there and he's standing on the sidelines like this, and every now and then he would just go, like, no,
Here's the
that's not
thing.
good.
He's the coach, and I agree. I think he's going to be a good coach, and he is a good coach. But apparently, they can't judge any talent at the GM desk. above
Running
him.
back looked good. Justin Fields not good. Justin Fields is not good. I
I think Fields could be good. He's never been on good enough teams to be good.
fair.
That's the problem in the NFL. You
But
can
it-
be a good quarterback, and if you don't have anything around you, you're not going to succeed.
And that's fair, but at what point does a quarterback start to make a team better? At what point does CJ Stroud come in and go off for the Texans, and
Yes, the
now
Ravens,
they're
yeah.
pretty good?
But he's also got some talent.
Who's our quarterback on this show?
Ash is kind of our big toe.
So is it going to get better?
He's Sergeant Hulka.
I don't know.
Show
I'm-
couldn't be
I'm,
any
I'm
better.
work.
I tell you, it gets better.
working.
Turn off Mike 4. We'll just turn off Mike. There you go. We'll put him in timeout. No, the reality is the Cowboys. Did you know that this season Dak Prescott's hitting on 72% of his passes?
Did not know that.
Man, he's having an MVP-esque type year. The only problem is, and we can revisit it if you want, the Cowboys are now 2-2-1. I had them going 9-8, 10-7. I think I still do.
We both had it. You had him 9-8. I had him at 10-7.
I don't, but yesterday there were moments that looked really, really professional footballish. They looked good. But I just don't think that at the end of the day, the defense looked really good against a really bad 0-5 Jets team.
Yep, I agree.
But at the same time, they beat a team they ought to beat, just like the Aggies. Beat a team you ought to beat. Those are the kind of trap games that the Aggies, especially, if you're honest, they used to kind of stumble in and they'd win 23-21. The Aggies took care of business this weekend, and that's why I'm sporting the Aggie winners shirt. If I had a Toronto Blue Jays wristband, I would wear that to make fun of the Yankees.
We put up like 23 runs in 2 games against the Yanks.
Yeah. CJ Stroud with 4 touchdown passes yesterday. That's
23
impressive.
to 27.
That's impressive.
QB
folks.
ranking of 143.9. however,
That'll
they figure that
keep
out.
your job
Yeah.
another week.
So Texans now 2-3 after starting off 0-3. They're turning around. The Ravens are 1-4. They're terrible.
You see
have
Brandon Aubrey miss an extra point yesterday,
Clang.
which rare. I mean, the guys like the Cowboys now need to
Had it
start
been a
getting
50 yard, had it
penalized.
been 50 yarder,
Yeah.
it would have curved in.
Just get him penalized and move him back, and let him kick from around the 40.
Exactly.
It's money.
He misses 1 or 2 extra points every year because he's not far enough back. I think.
Yeah, no doubt.
Didn't hurt him last night, and league divisional series going on in the majors. Toronto's just been crushing the Yankees. Yankees have no pitching, and it's been showing. Mariners even up their series with a 3-2 win. That was a fun game to watch in Seattle last night. They got to screw them pretty good.
Hello,
And,
Crystal Map.
Today it's the Dodgers and the Phillies. Phillies trailing in that one. And the Cubbies got just destroyed by the Brewers. And my guess is the Brewers, I'm kind of cheering for them.
Yeah. Milwaukee's fun team. Matt
They are.
Boucher, good morning,
Yep.
sir.
Greg Council's pretty good. Turned out to be a pretty good
Skipper.
or no, he left there to go to the Cubs. That's what happened. I think,
Jordan
right?
Glass says that Aubrey missed because they've been talking about him too much. Yeah, that ball kind of went, didn't
Yeah,
it? It had a lot of movement.
Yeah.
It would have come back. You're right.
I think it would have.
It would have come back.
Yeah. But I think, I think because I like George Springer and he plays the Blue Jays, I think that might be at least the American team I'm cheering for. But I'd like to see just to screw with Major League Baseball. There could be nothing worse for the TV ratings than a Brewers and Toronto World Series. But I think, to be honest, there might be nothing better for fans who are sick of seeing the same teams in there every year. Dodgers,
Right.
Yankees.
Crystal Map comes in a day late and a dollar short. Says, I've been looking forward to hearing your analysis of college football. I hope I haven't missed it. You'll have to go back and listen to the first 10 minutes of the program. But suffice it to say, Texas isn't very good. And
Aggies been looking pretty good.
A&M is pretty good, but they may not be as good as the average Aggie thinks they are. And that's fair. You get spoiled, and I'm no different than any other fan. I try to be objective. I try to really look at things. And by the way, Ash keeps me quite humble on things. He'll say, "Oh, he's not that good," and he's right. But when I'm objective, and you go 5-7, 8-5, 12-2, 13-3, you feel like, oh, we'll win 10. And you know what? That's just ignorant. Every year these players turn over. And, Crystal says, I felt hurt for Manning. He will come into his own. I do believe that. I do think that Arch is –
not being honest.
but, so yesterday – and let's tie this together and we'll wrap it up for you that don't love sports. If you noticed yesterday, Dak Prescott reminded me more of old Dak Prescott. There were times that he consciously tucked the ball and ran.
Yep.
There were times that he saw an opening in the middle of the field and jetted through. Whereas for the last 4 or 5 seasons, they said, stay in the pocket. It's like on that moment, his Achilles felt good and he took off. So
and that's the Dak the Cowboys need to be
that's exactly
successful because they're going to have to outscore everybody. I mean, they're the number one offense in the NFL right now, from what if I remember correctly. And the reason is they need to be the number one offense because they've got one of the worst defenses whose numbers were propped up because they played the Jets yesterday.
Tammy McElroy Williams everybody wants to be a producer.
Morning, Debbie.
In other news, great job VCSO for a well-handled man search and arrest on Friday. You know what?
We were going to get to that on the other side.
It'd be really cool if we had someone come in and talk about it.
It would be.
Well, we'll talk about that. Maybe we'll talk about it. But that was really good. And we'll talk. So let's take a break. Let's take a quick second.
Dollar Floor Store, get in, talk to them. They can help you with all your design needs. They've got a design studio there as well, so they can take your wall colors and whatever you're trying to do and get you the flooring you need, whether it's laminate, ceramic tile, hardwood, vinyl plank, luxury vinyl plank, because you don't want the cheap vinyl plank. Say you're going old school 80s and you want linoleum. Roll that out for you with some shag carpet. You can do it all.
There you go.
Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Give Allen a call for all your towing needs. They are our go-to tow team every single time we need one, which isn't often, thankfully.
No, but they are good.
But they are good, and they're always there. When I have needed them, I just pick up the phone.
You sounded a little bit like Donald Trump there. It's good. So I'd call if I need a tow. Don't need one often. The Beast is very well maintained. Super guys over at the Air Force.
I've never needed the Beast.
They take care of it. Allen's Wrecker Service. Yes, sir. They are the best. White Trash Services for all your trash collection needs, whether you're needing a roll-off dumpster, you want to get rid of a building. I agree with JP Hull. If Arch Manning had a different last name, he wouldn't be at Texas. There's no doubt.
It wouldn't have been Ohio State and Texas coming down for Arch, right?
That's right. But Texas is a lot like they fall subject to the Jerry Jones rule of how many jerseys can we sell? They do. Jerry Jones will take a cruddy player just to sell a jersey. White Trash Services, they'll bring a dumpster out to your house, come back and pick it up in a couple of days. You can fill it up. Chesnick Furniture, Chesnick and Love make your house a home. Get by and see why you just always do better at Chesnick.
Yes.
Super folks, great delivery, best furniture, best recliners.
It's really nice stuff.
That's a brand and a statement of their quality. Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. Get by Palace Bingo. You don't have to wait for us. In fact, you won't hear anybody go shh if you go without us.
Exactly.
Go to Palace Bingo and have a good
One of
time.
those two?
You pick,
Probably not that one.
not the 30th.
No, that's too close.
It's got to be the 23rd.
23rd.
23rd it is. There you go. Sold. Done. 23rd. Let's take a second and talk for a minute. Just your quick hits. We haven't talked about this, and I want to know your quick hits on Tejas Fest.
I liked it. I haven't been for a couple of years.
I'd like to give a shout out to Magic 95.9 FM was a premier sponsor of that event, and I think the mothership did a great job. I think
We missed Lilo, but we saw Victor.
yeah, we did see Victor. I did think that the event was well attended. I thought there were quite a few folks down there on Saturday night when I was there, and then I thought that the entertainment venue to me is stellar. I'm glad we have it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I
You don't have to rent a stage. The sound is phenomenal coming out of there.
yeah, no, it was great. And the bands appeared to appreciate it. That they seemed to have a good time as opposed to remember back in the day standing on a flatbed trailer with no acoustic quality to it.
None.
I thought that it was very, very professional, very well done.
And the fact that you can line up, it's big enough that you had all three drum kits on there from the Chad Cook band and then Corey Morrow and Pecos and the Rooftops. And, it's just, let's move one out, slide the next one in. They give the city kudos for the design and functionality of that facility.
Is it just me or is Corey Morrow getting a little long in the tooth for some of his tunes?
He's 53 years old.
It's kind of like watching Roger Krager, who's got, who's like a granddad singing about Everclear.
Well, yeah. I'll say this much about Corey Morrow, though. His live stuff, if you listen to his albums, they can be a little bit kind of, they've got a song or two that rock, but it's kind of a little bit like George Strait.
He puts on a good show, doesn't he?
If you're just a George Strait fan based on what you hear on the radio and you go and buy his CD back in the day or his cassette, you were always thrown off by the swing music on there, right? Because it wasn't what you expected, even though that was George's thing. He was always going to have swing. That's kind of Corey Morrow to me. If you listen to his albums, they're not as rocking at his stage show.
Right.
He puts on a great show. I think.
He does put on a good show.
But yeah,
and seemed to enjoy himself.
Yeah.
And seemed sober, which I don't think was always the case.
Well, he testified in front of everybody down there about halfway through his set. Told everybody, if you want, come talk to me at my merch table after. And if you got questions about Jesus and finding your way to Jesus, I'll come.
Yeah.
I'll
Decent, really a good guy. I was glad to see that.
So, how many country artists are doing that these days without fear of being canceled in front of that many people? But I will say this, the one thing that biggest party the city throws, and where were our city leaders?
Well, yeah, and people have lives, but this is something that's been going on. We've known this was coming for a year. I was glad to see council member Doug Kidder there. I was happy to see. That's what I meant. That is what I meant. Steve Kidder. I see Doug often, but yeah, Steve Kidder. I apologize.
And council member Ricky De La Garza.
And Ricky De La Garza. Raphael was there, and that was great. The mayor's wife was there. Monica was there. Super nice lady. But then Joel Navasad, those guys were running around. They were busy.
They were busy working.
Busy working, no doubt about it. But well done. Hats off, City of Victoria. Good job.
Kicks off festival season because this weekend is Turkey Fest. That's Western Days in a couple.
It is interesting that both Yorktown and Cuero have bigger festivals than we do. I know it's not a competition, but with the number of people that are here.
And they charge money too, don't they?
Yes, and I think honestly, I think more Victorians will go to Turkey Fest than came to Tejas Fest, which was free.
Yeah.
So I encourage you next year, if you have time, to come.
And they won't complain about driving to Cuero, but they'll complain about having to drive downtown.
There's nowhere
to go
park.
to the free festival in Victoria.
It's like we talk about you. they'll pay $500 to go stay in a hotel and see Carter Morrow in Houston, but then they'll say there's nothing to do in Victoria. You have to it was well done. Hats off again.
And John
hats off to
Turner
Magic.
at the chopping block was just running around like a chicken with his head cut off. No pun intended, but
He did. That food was great. They did a great job.
just bacon wrapped chicken strips.
And that's a good time to tell you, get into the chopping block because they'll do that kind of stuff for you. They were chicken strips. They were like tenders. It came off almost like a big chunk of chicken breast wrapped in bacon. They were spicy. They were good. Turner's going to cook what he likes.
Yeah.
And hopefully you like it spicy and, tangy and sweet. He had it going on. The food was good. They had that, what they call food truck or food trailer sausage. It's really good.
His pork burn ends. Those were so good.
Yeah. He just knows his way around a pit. So
And I
that's good
finished
stuff.
off the meatballs.
Did you eat the last of the meatballs? Wow. Guilt free? You just ate
No,
them?
I felt guilty for the meatballs because they were sitting there all lonely in the pan.
There you go.
So-
You got lonely balls, call Ash. All right. What else we got? We got a subject before if we were to squeak a guest in.
Do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Often.
There we go. Next subject. I can't help but think that our governor is leading up to a run for president in, if not 28, then 32.
32. How's he going to be? Here's the deal. I can't disagree at all. I just don't understand. And I've never understood why a state would make a statement like Greg Abbott did not need to go to a church yesterday and make a statement that Texas stands with Israel. I mean, honestly, if I'm Netanyahu, I'm like, who cares? You're not sending me aid. You're not sending me people. Now, Texans may be going to support Israel. I'm not suggesting we're not an equal participant in everything that's going on in the world. I'm just saying Abbott's quote is, anybody who is an enemy of Israel is an enemy of Texas. Okay, but do you need to go to a church? Does it need to be Googleable? Right?
Yeah.
I don't understand that. I'm glad he said it. I mean, I'm glad it's the truth. But to what end? And I agree with Ash. I think it's because he's trying to get his name out there, thinking about running for president. That's interesting. Yeah.
No.
So-
and I think it was interesting given everything that, and I know we're on the eve of October 7th.
Yeah, tomorrow's 2 years since Hamas was stupid enough to invade the Jews for no reason.
Melissa Hanson checking in. Good morning, Marina. Scott
Hi,
Tomko.
Marina.
Who else? Jordan Glass. Good morning. What else? Let's see if there's really anything else that we need to talk about. Real quick, as our guest makes his way in. Hamas, I guess, allegedly agreeing to everything that, or at least a lot of the conditions. We'll see what happens with all that. We'll get more into that because I think more details will come out tomorrow. We'll get to that.
I think what's more interesting is we had Tammy McElroy Williams at 7:17 said, in other news, she'd had enough sports.
Yes.
Hats off to the VCSO. Let's get the exact quote.
Okay.
Up a little bit. In other news, great job, VCSO, for a well-handled man search and arrest on Friday. So, boom, just like that, we bring in Sheriff Justin Marr. How are you, sir? Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Applause is deafening. Wow, the crowd goes wild.
All right.
As they should, especially in Telfner.
No,
Yes.
we were definitely busy Friday. It was great teamwork from everybody involved.
No doubt. And so take us through a timeline. You had what? You had like 9 something in the morning. Did you receive a phone call? What exactly went down?
Yeah, about 9 o'clock in the morning, we received a call of shots fired. Deputies responded to this area. They were there probably within about 10 minutes. And we had an apparent homicide on our hands at that point. The suspect had fled. We had a witness that kind of helped us out a little bit there. And the search started. And we utilized every resource available, from bloodhounds out of Beeville, tracking dogs in Cuero, helicopter out of Houston. ATVs on the ground.
Horses, I heard.
Yeah, absolutely. Just about every agency locally was involved. Federal partners helped out quite a bit. And it's just seamlessly, everybody started
That's awesome.
taking their role, doing what they needed to. And I'm guessing around 11 hours later, we had him in custody.
Nice.
So it,
And as details came out, this guy apparently wanted for murder in Los Angeles, California, was entered into this country illegally, if I understand the timeline correctly, back in sometime between 16 and being kicked out of the country and the Biden administration. He came back in.
yeah, he was removed in 2016. Not exactly sure when he came back in, but probably in that time frame. He's wanted for murder out of LA, I think in 22.
22 is what I saw.
And then I don't know how long he's been over here, but we have had an active warrant for him as of that Friday. So,
Is that not unbelievable if you stop and think about it? And I know it's a challenge that you guys face every day. And the reality is our audience is somewhat shielded from that reality. There's a guy here who was deported. He's wanted for murder in LA, and yet he has lived among us and then decided to kill someone.
yeah, no,
I mean, this guy does not deserve to be here.
you see that on the national news.
Right,
and
not in
certainly-
Victoria,
typically not,
but they're here.
It's here.
no
Absolutely.
doubt. By the way, it's the gunplay in Telfner is just another, morning. That's a Friday morning. That's not a big deal. It's the actual somebody actually being shot that is a big deal out there. So
Yes.
we had no doubt, and I know that Dawn was monitoring for me. We were traveling. She was monitoring all the progress. But John Paul Hull says, good morning, Sheriff. He was bragging on you this weekend. And Junior Samples, bless your dad's heart, said he sat with your dad last night. Your dad will never
Be the same. Nope.
Hopefully they didn't get kicked out of the event.
Yeah. Well, it was Gutfield, so maybe not. How on edge was everybody involved in the search for this guy who turns out might have been a gang member? Because hey, we've had somebody shot and killed, and now he's on the loose.
Yeah. I mean, it's important. Everybody was, in a rush to try to locate this guy, but you're dealing with the elements out there, and you don't know where this guy's heading. There wasn't a whole lot of information about him. He's kind of over here in a
Did you have an idea of where he
Low-key.
was going to go or which way he was heading at some point?
no. If I did, it would have been a lot shorter.
That's so funny. No, I can't. Yeah, you'll have to pardon. In fact, I'll even take the camera off and say, folks, the local TV station was interviewing the sheriff, and we weren't there. I was on the road, and one of the questions that was asked of Sheriff Marr was, do you have any idea where the suspect's going to go now? Well, if I did, I would go and wait for him, was the obvious answer. But the sheriff said, no, at this moment, we're not really certain where he may go. and so I'll ask you, because it's so worthy of repeat. Do you have any idea why that guy left LA to come to Victoria?
Well, probably because he was wanted for murder.
Right. Yeah, he was trying to
that's kind of
avoid
the obvious.
prosecution.
Yeah, the obvious answer there.
Yeah, that's just that good in-depth journalism.
That's right.
So where do we go from here? So Constance Philly Johnson, district attorney, will take up the case.
Yes.
And by the way, we had a witness to the shooting. Is that correct? There was a landlord or something involved in theory. I know it's an ongoing investigation.
Yeah,
but
I don't want to get off into the weeds of
Fair.
that, but
so I mean, chances are this guy's going to be off our streets.
yes, that is the goal.
Now,
One
is there
way
going
or
to be
the
a
other.
fight between the state of Texas and California to keep this guy?
That's between our DA and them.
Okay.
I have no doubt she will handle it here in Texas.
All right, no doubt that California
Yeah.
doesn't want to mess with it. They're
Well,
just
but
glad
here's the
he's
thing.
gone.
Here's where California might mess with it, because if this guy could be up for the death penalty, California will fight like hell to bring him back so we don't put a worthless piece of crap human to death.
Well, there you have it.
Absolutely.
Judgment has been passed by the Canadian refugee.
No, it was like I said,
Somebody
I
have a
can't.
problem with that?
I know we like you a lot on that. Jonathan Williams says parents at Industrial East or Industrial West, Elementary West, were really on edge and packing.
We had quite a bit of resources on school when when they let out. I was staying in contact with the superintendent the whole day on scene out there. So everybody was safe. I know, there's something to worry about.
My idea
we
was
were way
last
ahead of the
place he
game.
would go would be an elementary school.
Well, you hope
but
so.
You hope so.
Yeah, but you don't
But-
take anything for granted.
I like the idea that law enforcement said, don't try to apprehend this guy. Like, we don't need a bunch of weekend cowboys out there trying to rodeo.
Absolutely.
So, well, it's good to know that the SO is there. You guys do a great job. I couldn't be more pleased with everything
Absolutely.
that our sheriff's office does.
And I want to stress again, the sheriff's office, the men and women did amazing, but there were so many more involved. And it was great teamwork. From the police department was out there with the drones, the marshal service were out there in the brush. Texas Department of Homeland Security was out there. They helped dramatically on the scene. DPS, the air crew, the
Awesome.
tracking units.
How'd the arrest go down? Was it a lot of
Pretty-
was a lot of was it like the movies and it was like a shootout and all this stuff?
No shootout. He complied.
Really?
So it went without incident.
At that point, you're caught. You did something wrong. You're just caught.
Yeah, I mean that's a long day being on the road. So we were definitely on top.
Anything else going on? I know that's the big news, and we wanted to get it straight from you. But is there anything else you want to share about the SO?
Well, actually, October 1st, we went live with the task force model, the 287G program. We've been a part of the 287G program, which is with ICE.
That's the interdiction deal.
Yeah, inside of our jail facility since 16 or 17. There's a new task force model where our deputies have received training and authorization to help do some of the field enforcement ICE. But they stand alone as a task force also.
Awesome.
So, and then after the event we had Friday, there's obviously a need for it. So that's new in our world. We're active with that. Other than that, just trucking along.
You gotta love Callie Fromme with the shameless Victoria 100 Club comment. Says, I wonder if VPD used the drone that was purchased by the Victoria 100 Club.
I'm sure they did.
I'm sure they did.
It probably was that drone. Yes, ma'am.
I'll say this too, and I think because of what you guys did with everybody involved on Friday, I think it helped make Tejas Fest a success because I saw some comments. Well, if this guy's not caught, we're not going downtown.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think getting this guy off the streets helped make Tejas Fest a successful and safe event because people were no longer concerned about some crazed killer running the streets of Victoria.
Yeah, it was crucial to get him into custody pretty quick. I mean, he was obviously good at being on the run.
And desperate though. I mean, when you're scared and armed.
And time is of the essence.
Tammy Williams says other agencies are willing to work with VCSO because of the strong leadership. And there's no doubt that you guys have relationships because of you. We appreciate all that you do. There's
Well,
no doubt that that's the case.
I don't want to take credit for anything,
No,
but we
that's-
do have good relationships with our partners.
Absolutely.
It's all Will
it's-
Franklin.
That's
Yeah,
right.
looking back, you're
Yeah,
right.
we'll just
You're right,
say-
Sherry. It wasn't you. It was Will
Yeah,
Franklin. That's
yeah.
it.
The chief has done it. No,
Right, the chief did it all.
no, it's we have good, strong local relationships, and that's a positive thing because when events like this happen, I mean, it was amazing to watch it come together.
That's great. It just lets you know if you if you do the crime around here, you may do the time. Corbin Bell says, I'm proud to be in Texas and in Victoria County where they support law enforcement and they support us.
That is for sure. This community, in a lot of this search and capture, honestly, was help from the community as well. We would try to timely put out information that we could release and ask and research any comments that were coming back. So the community had a big part in this apprehension as well.
That's awesome.
Tammy Williams, if you think about it, this is a bad guy who's been on the run since 2022, and you guys caught him in one day.
That's pretty
Yes.
good.
About 11 hours.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
that is pretty good.
10 hours, 58 minutes, and 36
It
seconds.
was a big
But
it-
nobody's counting.
it was a big
Exactly.
moment. The guys did great.
The over-under
That's
was
awesome.
11 hours. That's why they got him underneath there.
You could be like Donald Trump. I was right there on number 13, and I was about to make a putt, and I said, hey, JD, I'm going to make this putt. And then they call and tell me they got him. Abdul al-Baghdadi is dead. Great stuff. We really appreciate you, sir.
No, absolutely. It's this community supports us, and it shows. Not every community supports their law enforcement.
They ain't partying like this in Goliad, people. This is Victoria County. Now, we appreciate you, sir.
Absolutely.
Anytime we can be of service, come find us.
Okay. Y'all have a good
Hey,
day.
have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Take care.
That's
Victoria
Sheriff
County
Justin
Sheriff
Marr.
Justice Marr.
That's awesome. J-Mar, be safe, buddy.
I think
Thank
after
you,
that arrest, we might need to change his name to Justice.
Justice Marr, Chief Justice Marr. There you go. Went Services, Went Electrical for all your electrical needs. Let Went come and help you. Make sure that when the power goes off, you've got a Generac generator that kicks on automatically, solves your problems, keeps all your.
Generac dealer.
It's the cost. You look at what it costs you to buy the generator, that's fine. But if you lose all the meat in your freezer, what if you lost the bluebell? What if Cody lost the bluebell? Unbelievable.
I'm dairy free.
I'm sure you are lactose intolerant. I'll let that go.
Yeah, please do.
Adson
will he if
and
he drinks the milk.
AdsonOffer.com. Adson Offer for all your vehicular needs, whether you need a brand new Chevy Silverado or you need to pick up a used, gently pre-owned certified car.
I don't need a high country Suburban,
But you want
but
one.
it's nice. And you know it's funny because I've been driving by there. They keep moving it and
What would
hiding
you
it.
do with a Suburban?
Nothing because I would underutilize it, but they're just such a nice vehicle.
Air mattress
Yeah.
in the back.
But here's the funny thing. It's like one of the employees there wants this thing and doesn't want it to
Yeah,
sell
he's
because
hiding it.
it is. It's hidden in between like two regular Suburbans. It should be like right front and center, and it's not. So
Yeah.
go by. It's black. It's really nice if you're looking for a family truckster this fall.
To get ready.
Yeah.
Paravita Wellness and the Vita Cafe. That's a 2-for-1 shot. You can go to the Vita Cafe up off of Nursery Road. You can go to Paravita Wellness and just get all your dietary needs worked out. Good morning, Sheriff Louderback, State Rep from House District 30, checking in. Paravita Wellness has all your macros. You tell them what you want. I need to be gluten-free. I want to be higher in protein. I want to be lower in
Ketogenic
carb. They got it
diet,
all.
they can do it.
They have it all. So does the chopping block. We talked about John Turner earlier. Brand does.
He actually took yesterday off. He threatened he wasn't going to, but I drove by just to make sure
It was closed. Reach out to Commander Cody. He'll help you with your Facebook presence, with your interweb. I think this internet thing's going to hang around.
might
And if
stick
it
around for
does,
a while.
it might make sense for you to be a participant. What do you got in the Epic Times?
Nothing there, but I found it interesting that a federal judge yesterday blocked President Trump's authorization of National Guard troops to Oregon.
It's a federal judge that needs to be replaced, right? If the president of the United States says we're going to do this, then a federal judge, an appointed judge, needs to stand down.
Yeah,
He's not there to. He's not the fourth branch of government. He's not even in the judicial chain at that point. We have the Supreme Court for a reason.
our judges are starting to think that they're the executive,
And
branch
they are
of
not.
government. And what are they going? What are the judges going off of? I mean, the media is telling you that, showing you shots during the day of when they've cleaned up Portland, Oregon, or are they showing the night shots when crap is actually happening and going down on the streets? Right?
I saw a picture of a video of a guy walking down the street in Portland, and all he was doing was carrying an American flag, and he was accosted. He was shoved around. It's crazy.
Supreme Court back in session today. They've got a bunch of high-profile cases, according to CNN, although CNN doesn't really talk about those high-profile courses.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. Israel-Hamas ceasefire talks today in Egypt going on. I'm sure they're going on now because this in the clock for the day. I saw reports that a Palestinian leader who was wanted in the Middle East on charges of what he stole a bunch of money, basically. High Palestinian Authority stole a bunch of money, was wanted on charges of fraud, and basically left the country, and Canada's let him in.
I mean, what is that? Why would Canada let a guy in that you know is a terrorist?
I don't know, but you think that's going to curry any favor with Donald Trump if you're Mark Carney? No.
Talk to him about France. Some guy quit after 26 days on the
The
job.
prime minister, and I don't know.
Was he elected?
No, I think he's appointed.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe. Well, I think the prime minister is elected, but then this one was appointed because the other one had a vote of no confidence or something. I don't understand the French parliament.
Look at that close up of Cody's dome.
I don't understand I don't understand the French parliamentary system, but yeah, that can't be good when France is looking for another prime minister after just 26 days.
Hang on, I gotta go sneeze.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
It's hard to get good talent around here, everybody.
It really is.
How about
Rite
Wade
Aid.
and Cody? I like Wade and Cody better.
Rite Aid, one of the at one time the third largest pharmacy chain in this country, has shuttered all remaining stores as of the weekend. Founded in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Right. Yep. So all the Rite Aids no longer there. They went through bankruptcy stuff 2 years ago, and I guess most of their locations were purchased by all their major competitors: Walgreens, CVS, Albertsons, Kroger. So I don't know if that's a sign our economy is not doing well, or if that's just because they made terrible business decisions. I don't know. Oh, let's see. A new study reveals enzymes and process that allows ants to ferment milk into yogurt. Do you really want your ants messing with your milk to turn it into yogurt?
I don't know. What do they get in there? Just churn their little
I guess.
legs
I don't know
until
what
it
they do.
turns
It's
into
kind
yogurt?
of interesting. Let's see what else.
See, this is what happens on a Monday. The government didn't really do a whole lot on Friday.
Because it was shut down.
Yeah.
I mean, what does a shutdown mean? Has anybody experienced any serious issues with the government being shut down?
No, I haven't had any. I challenge anybody to tell me any real problems they've had. That JD Vance did say last week that in-home Medicare supplemented healthcare, in-home healthcare would be put on hold, which I have a little bit of a problem with. I mean, if you're an elderly person or you're don't have the means, to me, that's one of the things that I think community does provide. And maybe that's the case. Maybe they're saying, hey, get your church out there to help those people. I don't know. If the Dems were doing it, I'd probably be against it. Let's put it that way. You know?
Fair enough.
I mean, it's like, hey, I mean, I would say, well, you can't leave those old folks alone. But I'm not sure I understand.
Well, once again, why? I mean, this should be the priority of our government, our elected officials. They really have one job when they go to Congress. That's to pass a budget.
So Melissa Hanson says, my two sons in the military won't get their next paycheck if the government stays shut down. And that's okay. Okay? Because they always get made whole once the government opens back up.
Yeah, but being made whole doesn't help when your rent's due next week.
Well, but no landlord's going to kick out a service member over a government that's shut down. Probably not legally even.
I don't know. You got a leftist landlord who believes in socialism, but believes capitalism is his way to, or her way to.
Yeah. Patrick Strauss says our daughter will be working, but not getting paid until the government opens up. And okay. I mean, Dawn's in the same boat. Dawn my wife works for a contractor that is it's absolutely, the Dems are absolutely doing this to you. It's not Donald Trump that's doing it to you. 100% it's the Democrats doing this to you. At the end of the day, Dawn works for an FAA contractor she was told last Wednesday, we're okay until at least Monday. After that, she has to use basically PTO to get paid. I mean, they're eating up her, guaranteed time off.
Yeah. Which is wrong.
Yeah. But it is what it is. And it's Chuck Schumer and his team that are doing this.
Yeah, well, but is it really? I think it's worse than this. It's Congress, both sides, and the independents not being able to get something done. And here's the worst part. The $1.5 trillion, which we don't need to be spending, this was to kick the can down the road for another 4 weeks. That was it.
And what are we trying to get done? Are we trying to just raise the debt ceiling, just spend more fake money that doesn't exist?
Because here's the problem. Remember in the spring when we raised the debt ceiling and we agreed to spend more money or raise the debt ceiling and we didn't really cut a lot of spending to get us to this point in October because we were told we will fix it in October?
So let's raise the debt ceiling and get rid of those employees that aren't working right now. The non-essential government employees, let's get rid of them. If you're not essential, how about if they tell you at
All
your
essential,
job,
according to the left.
what if they tell you at your job, you're not essential? Well, good. Then, you don't really need me. I'm essential where I work. You need to be essential. Be essential. That's a good motto for people.
Yeah.
Try to be essential,
Essential.
right? Be essential. Don't be a Klingon.
It is.
I think it's good to let's just, I do wonder what we're trying to achieve. Are the
I don't know.
Republicans asking for more fake money?
Honestly, I don't know what we're trying to achieve.
Where are we
To be
with this
honest.
budgetary process? Not sure I understand. But I don't think that, it's not like the Republicans can give in here. I would not give the party that got beat because all they do is spend money they don't have. That's why they got beat. You don't give them $1.5 trillion so that they can help you spend money you don't have.
Yeah. $1.5 trillion to keep things going for till November 21st, right before Thanksgiving. And again, here's my problem. They had until the spring to get to this point, and they did nothing. They took their summer leave. They did nothing. Nothing got accomplished to get here.
That's right. Hi, Jackie Parsons.
We've got an ineffectual federal government in both the House and the Senate. One of them could be a hero to be reelected forever if they would tie the budget and a bill that would say, if we can't get this done, we get removed immediately.
Yep.
Recalled.
Corbin Bell says our money has become monopoly money. Marina adds, you can't buy any liquor in British Columbia right now because they're all on strike. $25 an hour isn't enough to stand there and wait for people to swipe their credit cards.
Yeah.
It's
The
just a liquor store.
Yeah, the liquor stores in British Columbia are owned by the government.
But you've got to pay them $25 an hour so you can tax them 13 of those dollars an hour so that you can give them free health care. That's what has to happen in Canada. Yeah, BJ Nelson adds, hard decisions need to be made that determine whether a government job needs to return or not. I agree.
And now they're trying to say that, well, Donald Trump's going to fire a bunch of people during this shutdown.
Good. Fire them. Monty Howard says, assuming DJT beats the Senate about this, it could be a strategic win moving forward to start peeling dim votes off on other matters. I agree. Trey Molina says he's late. Trey, I hope you start. You're too old to have a baby. I'm serious. I know you will. You're just not up for it. Yeah.
Well, Chris, funding the government's become a blackmail event as far as the left is concerned. You know what? But both sides. There's good people on both sides. And that's what I'm saying here. But the Republicans did the same thing. If we don't get our concessions, we're not going to vote for it.
Yeah.
They all play this game. Both sides play this game every single time we get to this point.
Yep. No doubt about it.
It's stupid. It's immature. It's idiotic. And we elect these fools every single time.
It's crazy.
Not our fool, because I think Michael Cloud does a great job.
I do. I have to tell you,
As a whole, we elect these fools.
and he would agree. I mean, he's in the middle of a mental breakdown up there. Yeah. Torrin Bells, what other country can you enter illegally and immediately get free health care? Go on down to Mexico, just cross the border, walk into a hospital and go, hey, I cut myself. They would say, good luck.
Yeah, you got insurance?
You got insurance? You got money? You got cash?
I came into this country legally. I had to swear off any government assistance or I would have been deported.
Man, if we'd just gotten lucky.
Yeah, if we just would have gotten it.
I'll give you one, though. And here's what the left does all the time. The left talks about indigent health care and all that. And they talk about this. Well, I mean, you can't just leave someone bleeding and with a heart attack. You can't just, what kind of animals are we? Well, when you're here illegally and you have no money, everything is an emergency. A kid has a toothache, we go to the ER. A kid has a hangnail, we go to the ER because it's the only place you can go, right? Because no normal doctor says, well, come on in. Do you have any insurance? No. Every little thing, you get a little surface burn, you go to the ER. That's the difference. And it's draining our system. And when you can't collect from those people ever, you can't collect from them, the county has to end up paying it.
Well, and how much of that is the insurance industry as well on the medical side? Because you can't just do something pro bono anymore as a doctor. Kid comes in with a little scrape on the knee. You can't put a little Neosporin on it and a Band-Aid, or you got to charge the kid
That's right.
your
'Cause you've got
copay
insurance.
and insurance.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I don't know where we're at. I just know that it's a media flip, a media spin to try to say that Donald Trump shut down the government, because Donald Trump did not shut down the government. Congress did.
OPEC announcing an increase in oil production. That might actually help gas prices. Have you noticed gas prices around here? Maybe because it's, heading to the music festival travel season.
Gone up.
30 cents from the last time I filled up.
I'm in an unfortunate spot. I guess I there are places that I buy gas preferred over others because the prices are typically less. Like for example, if I'm at Prochex, I just fill up. I don't worry about it. If I'm at Buc-ee's, I feel like it's going to be a very competitive price. If you find a one-off a gas station in Houston, you're going to pay $4 for super.
I get to the airport, it's even worse.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But I think on the Houston highway here, your prices are typically about 10 cents, 15 cents cheaper than on the north side of town.
Let's see. In a social post, Tom Askell, pastor of Grace Baptist Church in Cape Coral, Florida, said he visited the chapel in response. He went to a Muslim. Okay, so this is great. 2 GOP candidates running to replace Ken Paxton as Attorney General are looking for answers from a Florida pastor's claim that he was denied entry to a Muslim prayer service at one of 5 interfaith chapels at DFW Airport on my birthday, September 26th. In a social media, he says he was, Tom Askell, this pastor at Grace Baptist Church in Florida, said he was denied access to the prayer service where all are welcome. Now, here's what's interesting. If he was just a guy walking in, you wouldn't think that anybody would deny him. Did he have like a shirt on that says, I'm from Grace?
Yeah, I don't know. Dallas Morning News reported this.
Never know. Says the chapel's policy does not restrict entry to services. I'm back to being a little bit concerned that as a country, I realize that I can remember being a kid and asking my dad, literally, so Dad, if we have a democracy, if people can vote, could they vote? Because back then, man, at communism, it was just America versus Russia. I said, could they vote to be communist? And my dad goes, well, yeah, they could, but that'd be stupid. And of course, he's right.
Because it'd be the last vote they'd ever take.
But I mean, I just don't understand. I didn't know this. This is worth mentioning. And then we have to talk about Mark Sanchez. I thought it was interesting that New Yorkers are going to elect this Mandami guy. And this Mandami guy, who is an open practicing Muslim and a communist. I mean, these are two things. I don't care how you feel about me.
And a multimillionaire living in a rent-controlled apartment.
These are two things that are basically un-American. They just are. And at the end of the day, the idea that our flagship city, if you will, in so many ways, is going to allow that to happen is wrong. And it gets me that it takes the inner city black to elect this guy. And the Muslims are no friend of the inner city black. Just not. It's very, very interesting to me. I just don't get it.
John Anderson, it's sad both sides can't get along. Why do you think that is? Jarrett McCrugan answers the question. Because one side labels the other as fascist and Nazi, and who can get along with those people?
That's exactly right.
And it's true. And the media laps it up.
100%. 100%. Never mind that they're saying that that Donald Trump is such a fascist as he decentralizes power, as he shuts down parts of the government. I don't, as he makes investment into states, I just don't get it. It's just ignorance is what it is.
I'm gonna find this article I read over the weekend, but basically it's a Jewish media person in a blog, and he says there's no way Trump is anything but a fascist. Has he done some things that concern him as a political analyst and someone who watches this thing? Yes. But to compare him to Hitler is completely ignorant.
Just ignorant. And it's a fear tactic. It's just a fear tactic. But nobody's afraid of the Muslim communist in New York City. Okay. Stupid is forever, people. I can educate ignorant.
That's why
I
New
can
York City's
medicate
become
crazy.
a piece of garbage city it's become in the last 10 years.
Stupid is forever. Hi, folks.
Every bar around.